Fancy meat is the best kind of meat, especially when free. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to One Punch Man, Season 3, Episode 4, and it's a little weird because I noticed we were doing Episode 4 today, and I'm like, wait, really? We're already on Episode 4? But when I thought about it for a second more, it's like, oh no, yeah, that's right. And it's just like, it's weirding me out. It's one of those occasions where it feels like the series is going by, or the season at least, is going by pretty quickly. And I was not prepared for it to already be Episode 4. But it's right, it's correct. So, yeah, last we left off, Saitama got some fancy meat for a hot pot from Dr. Kuseno. And on top of that, we've got Garo continuing to do his thing, we could say. And just a lot of the setup is still going on. But the kid, the one who's friends with Garo and all, he's been captured. He's now in prison with the first kidnapping victim, the rich kid. And so we'll see how that ends up going. But yeah, just a lot of setup right now. We're really getting into, we're going to start getting into the meat of things, you could say. Pun intended. But I'm very curious to see where this season goes, because it's so far been pretty great. I've been really enjoying the story, really enjoying like how the characters have been worked, and I assume it's going to keep being just as good. So let's get this going and find out. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. One of the most difficult parts about doing these reactions as someone who is autistic is that I can never tell how I'm reacting. Like, I'll recognize enough if I have like a big reaction, of course, but because I have a hard time, like, understanding expression and emotion and whatnot, even for myself, I have a lot of difficulty, like, recognizing that. And so it's like, whenever, like, I say in a reaction or whatnot, like, I don't know how it came across, like, how my expression came across or whatnot, I literally mean that. I don't know. And in this case, I was very tense during that. Like, I figured nothing would happen to the kid, but I was still very tense, especially, like, when it, like, cut back and he's screaming and, you know, crying, and Ripper is, you know, cutting his face and everything, and it's just like, I was very upset and very tense, and I just wasn't handling it very well. I was trying to talk my way through it, like talking about how this guy's a psychopath and everything, and hating him and can't wait till Garo comes in and everything. It's like a lot of times I think that's kind of a way I handle stuff like that, especially when it's feeling very tense and tough to deal with. I tend to talk my way through it, or just in general, sometimes I like to I'll crack jokes to try and like add levity during heavy scenes like that. It's just I really don't do well with that stuff, but I don't know how well it shows on my face. Cuz I'm not the most expressive all the time, so I don't know if like my face, if my expressions were showcasing how like tense I was. But yeah, it's just one of those things that's very hard for me, you know? Um so that was something I just wanted to like talk about briefly here. But yeah, another good episode. We have the S class heroes like joining up and having their strategy meeting before going into action. We have the hot pot scene, and King somehow got knocked out like trying to get meat for the hot pot. We have Garo coming in to save the kid, and just a lot more a lot more fun and interesting scenes. Again though, it's a lot of setup. We're still in that portion of this arc of this season where we're still setting things up and preparing for what's to come. The biggest like notable scene was the Garo scene with rescuing the kid and all. Um, but outside of that, it was a lot of setup and preparation. But there's some good character moments in this too, like the association guy, like saying that he's willing to give up everything to save his son and all. And it's like you would think a guy like this would be like super self-serving, and you would even think like, oh, they're talking about saving his son, and he'd be more interested in like uh protecting the image of the hero association and everything. But no, he actually is just literally genuinely worried about his son and is willing to give up everything to make sure he's safe. You have to give massive credit for that. He's an absolute rich bitch. He's not the best kind of person, but he does adore his son and he wants to make sure his son is safe. And that's great. That's fantastic. And we see the same kind of sentiment hailed by Tatsumaki here. Like when she found out that Second Gall had called in her sister, she's like, "You are going to cancel that right now because you are not putting my sister in danger." As tough as she tries to act, like Tatsumaki adores Fubuki. She loves her sister so much, and she doesn't want her to be in danger. And I think that's precious. I think that's absolutely wonderful to see. It shows another side to Tatsumaki we don't always get to see because, like, as she pointed out in this episode, she's kind of all about power. She's about strength. She's about ability. She's about like showcasing what you can do, which is fair enough. But here we get to see a softer side to her. We get to see the side that, actually cares about people. She doesn't show that too often, but when she does, it's definitely something worth noting. And I love that. I just think that's fantastic character work there. Um, we got some interesting information about Giro Giro, and we find out that their telekinetic psychic abilities are limited. So, like, they noticed someone was entering into the association's hideout, but could not tell who it was. They didn't know it was Garo. So that's a really interesting limit to those powers, and I think that's important to showcase as well because that's going to express to us exactly what they can do and how well they can do it leading into the fight. Um, I like how through this episode we see Genos having to constantly be reined back because he's a little too uptight at the moment. And I understand, like, he's just trying to serve Saitama as his master and everything. Well, Saitama being his master. But, like, he's a little too high strung about everything. It's like, it's one thing to say, like, oh, Saitama, don't eat all the cabbage and whatnot because Saitama wants some. It's like, sure, I can get that. But, like, some of the other stuff, like Fubuki just outright like complimenting Dr. Kuseno, saying he could be like an asset to the Blizzard Bunch, and Genos just going like, "Don't you insult him like that." It's like, she literally did the opposite. What are you talking about? He's just so high strung. He's so protective, and that's good in so many cases. But he's also, just going a little bit far there. And Dr. Kuseno has to rein him back in. But yeah, it was a fun scene. It was funny, and I enjoyed just kind of getting that little comical moment amidst all of the other stuff going on. Garo's suit is now like grafted to his body somehow. Don't entirely know how that happens, but he didn't either, so. Um, so that's fascinating. I guess that's just continuing his design change and everything. Gonna lead into him becoming the monster he wants to be. Excuse me. But we also see that he was surprised to be alive, which means that I don't even think he's aware completely of how tough he is. Um, and like I said in the reaction, it does seem like he also has like this, Dragon Ball Z Saiyan like thing going on where he gets stronger after every fight, after every defeat. And so he's just gonna continue to be formidable the more this goes on. And I'm very curious to see where that goes. And just how strong he is able to get. Because he's already very strong. But if he can get, like, even more so, that would be pretty cool. And yeah, I kind of, like, I'm not on his side in the fact that he's, like, trying to be a monster and is a bad guy and everything. But, like, they make him such a nuanced character who has so much depth to him, and I just kind of like him and get behind him because of that. So, yeah, I think he's just probably one of my favorite characters in this series. Um, I'm really really enjoying this. I can't wait to see where this goes. I wonder if Garo's going to end up saving the other kid too. That would be fascinating for a number of reasons. One, just him doing so. Probably, if he did, it would probably be on request from this one. And secondly, that would, I feel like, change kind of the plans for the Hero Association. So that's interesting in of itself. Um, King is being conscripted into this all, but we know he's not going to be much help. But he was seen coming out of the restricted section of City Z, so that's also fascinating to me. I wonder if that's going to be important at all. That he was seen coming out. I guess we'll end up seeing. Yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. They're just continuing to prove themselves with this story and the character work. It's like just there's no reason at this point to like care about the animation and everything. We're getting this good of content even with the animation being lesser than other anime or than other seasons of this. Um, it's like that's not important. Clearly, this series is proving that. Um, so all of that being said, tell me what you thought of this episode down in the comments below. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.